Today we're going to take a look at sections 11.7 and 11.8. And what we're going to look at is a common theme that you've had in computer science. Once we learned about methods, we learned about what an argument was. That's up in the main when I call the method and the values that I pass in, like display, parentheses, my arguments, name, comma, address, okay? This time I'm going to take a look at what happens if I want to structure as an argument. And in the same respects, can I also return a structure? Well, the answer to all this, and it's all yes. These are all data types. So just like any other data type, it can be an argument. It can be in my parameter list down in the function heading. And if I really wanted to, I can return a struct. So a quick look at 11.7. You had to type in, it looks like code listing 11.6. But before I do that, I have two notes here. I can pass by value, or I can pass by reference. This word reference all of a sudden should get you go, oh yeah, this means I can pass it and I can have values returned. So let's take a look at what we have going on here. First one, I'm looking in line 17 and 18 of code listing 11.6 that you typed in. The first one, I am doing GetItem. I am passing this guy by, well, that little ampersand says I'm passing in the address of what's going on here. And that's when we get this term pass by reference, okay? Which means any changes I make are going to stick. I can also pass it as an argument, and I can just pass the value. So if I come down here in the main, it's not very exciting. Get item, show item, cut and dry. All you need to get are the little syntax items out of it. Like, do I need to include an ampersand? Do I not need to include an ampersand? When I have them coming in my parameter list, again, here's my data type of my struct, inventory item, and I bring it in with the ampersand. That way, when I bring in values, they actually stick. Again, hopefully we're getting used to get line, in case there's more to it. Like when I ask for a name and it's Ray J. Johnson Jr., it doesn't just read in Ray and send J. Johnson Jr. somewhere else. If I have it as my signature without being a reference variable, I just have a straight up data type of inventory item and a variable name of P, and I'll be able to recover the items from there. Kind of nice, kind of easy, kind of straightforward. What happens when I want to return a struct? This is section 11.8. Okay, I come in and I'm moving something and nothing's moving. I have a struct. There we go. Struct called circle. Couple of items: radius, diameter, and area. And I have a function prototype where look what I have. I have a function called getInfo. No arguments being passed in, but my return type is a circle. That means in getInfo, I need to create a variable of type circle, and that needs to be my return. So the only real question then is, when I return it, I just return temp circle, which is the one I created. Temp circle, I come in here and I get what I need to get, and I return it. Circle, get info. Any questions? So what we're going to do is, I want you to start by, I'm going to put you in groups, and you're going to go to Zoom and use the whiteboard. Now, what is the Zoom whiteboard? A lot of people don't know how to use the Zoom whiteboard. If I click share screen, I'm going to see something that says whiteboard. You can't see it, but of course I can. I have it, and I can pull it up, and it's an actual whiteboard for your group to use. Now, inside of this whiteboard, I'm going to have your groups come up with the main to solve the problem that I'm going to give you in a minute. Now, as you can see in the whiteboard, everybody can see the whiteboard, right? It's got a menu up top. Can you go to the menu? And is it active? Like right now, I have a pencil and I can draw my first name. Not very well. I can click text. I can create a text box and do my first name. I can draw all kinds of things. Like I want an arrow to go there, and so on. But guess what? So can you. Go ahead, draw on my whiteboard. There, Mohammed put in a Y. Yes, Mohammed did it. Ryan just did squigglies. Looks like somebody put in a heart. So everybody can interact on this whiteboard. And when you come to me next semester in 162, there's a lot of times early on when I want you as a group to be doing scratch work, and I want you to be doing it on a whiteboard. So what I'm going to have you do is go into groups, and within the whiteboard, I want you to come up with the prototypes and the main. So if you want, the easiest way would probably be click on text and go da 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 da. But you can make other notes and so forth in here if you want. Once you have this typed up, your prototypes and main, you call me and then I'll tell you, go ahead and start doing the program. Now, what's the program? I'm looking at page 662, number 13. Ta-ta. 662, number 13. I want you to write a program that simulates a software machine program should and will use a structure that looks like the following. It has a drink name, how much the drink cost, and the number of drinks in the machine. And you can initialize everything if you want your array, which is what we did last class, with 5 structs and so on. Okay, now what's the program to do? I want you to have a menu type of program, a menu that will display, one that will fill all of this. And I know you don't see, this is a dilemma. I want you to fill this, and I'll tell you what, let's put this in a data file. We have plenty of time. This is really good practice. So you're going to put these items in a data file. Okay, string int, or a double int, string double int, string double int. You're going to have your first method is going to fill your array of structs. Okay, second method, you can start to read down through here. You can do a display. So fill it, just fill it automatically. Then inside your menu, display the items. Pick an item you want to buy. How many? You put in the money, it'll tell you the change. You'll get the menu back. Got the idea? The last thing in this program mentions about input validation. You don't have to worry about that. We'll assume there'll be enough money. So if I say I pick number 1, so you display it. I want to buy a drink. What drink do I want to buy? A cola. Okay. Then it's going to say how many? Well, I'd like to buy 3 if there are enough. And then it's going to say, please enter your money. So if I put in $2, you'll say not enough. If I put in $3, you'll say your change is 75 cents. You'll subtract 3 from the number in the machine. But the first thing I want you to do is use the whiteboard to come up with what your pseudocode, what your prototype and main will look like.